The journey's been long. I've sacrificed a lot. Mom and Dad, if you're watching this, I promise I did my best.
I mean, I started like laughing at myself because just like the idea of like telling your African parents that, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna become a visual artist, but I'm not just gonna become a visual artist. I'm gonna become the best visual artist that Africa's ever seen. And at 16, I thought that was crazy. At the same time, I knew it was possible. Are we rolling? Yeah, I'm guessing we are rolling, right? Right. Yeah, that was like an old video. I wonder what they're saying about me now. First ever artwork I've ever made was like when I was a kid. I used to go down to the river, and that's where we used to collect water in my village. And then we'd go down there with like our little scoops of buckets and scoops of water. And then there was always like clay on the side of the river, and I was always like curious as like, what is the substance?
Welcome back. Kgole is a young South African artist making waves abroad. Earlier this year, Kgole secured a residency in Paris and exhibited at this year's Cannes Film Festival. His star continues to shine on top of securing an exhibition in Monaco for next year's Grand Prix. He has also been named one of the Mail and Guardian's top 200 young South Africans. To talk more on his art and work both abroad and in South Africa, we are now joined by Giggs via Skype. Giggs, good evening and thank you so much for joining us on The Globe.
Oh, good evening. Thank you for having me.
Now, firstly, congratulations on being named one of the Mail and Guardian's top 200 young South Africans. And just talk to us about your journey as a young artist and where exactly it all began.
Kgole began creating art at the age of 4 out of mud from the river and was the first in his family to reach and pass high school. He says his main goal is to inspire others like him growing up in South Africa.
I realized that the world outside of all of those spaces that I was building up never knew the world that was in South Africa and in Limpopo. So Europe, America and the rest of the world didn't know about my people. And then that is why I started Kgole Artists, to tell untold African stories, to tell the stories about the village boy and his daily life, and to tell the stories that he is great.
I grew up in a small village in South Africa, and then growing up in that village called Mostorlos Hlalani Kahle, which translates to live well. It's one of like the poorest villages in our country. But even though I was technically born in the township of South Africa called Tembisa Township, I was raised in the village by my grandmother. And then being raised by my grandmother, I hardly got to see like my mom and my dad. And that's because like at the time they were the breadwinners for like the family and our extended family. So I had to spend a lot of time with like my grandmother and just learning life and finding home in that environment. Living with like 8 to 12 cousins at a time. Yeah, life was really, really great.
This year?
All right.
This series is called Tembisa, inspiration from my township. And the reason why I've decided to call this series Tembisa was for the fact that I've been in Europe for the past year exhibiting my works in Italy and as well as France. And then I met my partner there, who I actually co-own a gallery in South Africa right now in New Dawnfontein, and we are technically the youngest gallery owners in the world.
I'm Oscar Noriega.
And I'm Kgole, and we're the owners of Gaslamp.
Kgole is having his best exhibition yet. This international artist is known actually from Italy. He's known in France, known in South Africa, of course. His arts actually traveled to the United States.
So the exhibition is called Tembisa. The reason behind Tembisa is the fact that I was born in Tembisa Township, and the word Tembisa means promise.
I think I've always had it in mind that when I was 16 years old, like despite trying to be a globally recognized artist, I always wanted my works to have meaning. I wanted to have my works to have soul. I wanted my works to have an impact on people. A year before opening up the gallery, I was able to donate 200 blankets to the homeless.
Time today and helping out with the blankets. You guys are doing an amazing job. I'm pleased you're doing that. We need more young people like you guys changing the country, and you guys can change the world. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Cool.
And then a year afterwards, I was then able to open up this gallery space and open up studio spaces for younger artists, because when I started this, I started from a garage. It's definitely extremely important for us to pay it forward and help out others in the industry.
Yeah, so I've brushed against death like a couple of times in my life. Being the donkey incident, and a couple of times later in my life when I was a bit older and I was already establishing myself in the art community in South Africa.
Blind. Bophelo tlo laetša mohlolo fela. You know, you can't expect anything in life. Life is very unexpectedly. It's always surprising you. I thought that one accident was just gonna be it, but unfortunately I'd got into two back-to-back accidents.
I had my seatbelt on. My girlfriend had her seatbelt on. I was driving the right speed. I had my lights on. I had my hazards on. Everything was just perfect, and then we just crossed this one bridge.
Okay guys, my studio is dying. All my artworks are being flooded. It's not a joke. I wish I was lying. If anybody's around Maboneng, around Ellis Park, and you're free and you got nothing to do, please, I need your help. Please come to my studio. I'll DM you where the location is and just help me with the flooding. All my works are being destroyed, and yeah, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. So please DM if you can help.
During this time off, I completely stopped painting. I was not functional at all. I went back to my village, and as I was there, my mother, my grandmother, my sister sat me down, and then they just made me reflect and realize why I started all of this.
Home is maybe not a space, but it can always be a moment in time. It could always be a feeling. It could always be the people you surround yourself with. It could always be an experience. And then I've built home all over the world. I've built home in the exhibition spaces, gallery spaces, museum exhibitions. I've built home in people. I've built home in moments. I remember like my last South African exhibition I had, being in that space, I felt at home.
What you waiting for? We've been here before. I can't ignore it anymore. You know the way it goes. How much longer than
Holly Hudson, SABC News, London.